What's up everybody, it's Blanca. We're back with another explained video where we speedrun the retelling of complicated game stories with plenty of jokes along the way. This time we're discussing Final Fantasy XVI, or Game of Thrones if it was an anime. If you're one of those that can't spare the 40 plus hours needed to play it, don't worry, I got you. For the record, this game has so much lore there's a built-in encyclopedia. To help alleviate some confusion throughout the video, let's review the background now. Valisthea is a land where several large crystalline mountains called mother crystals dot the land, and people have grown reliant on their magics to live in comfort. Over time, kingdoms formed around these crystals, however, a destructive phenomenon called the Blight has also been growing, sapping the land of all magic and leaving it uninhabitable. As viable land grows more scarce, the kingdoms war for what's left. Of course, it only gets worse when most of the kingdoms have giant Godzilla-style creatures ready to fuck everyone up. These are icons and contain themselves within chosen hosts called dominants that are able to harness their magical powers. On a smaller scale, there are also people who are born with innate magical abilities and don't need to use crystals. These people are called bears, are marked with medieval Tyson face tattoos at birth, and many are enslaved by quote-unquote normal people. For the sake of simplicity, we're going to rename each realm based on the main icon's element because the Earth Kingdom is a lot easier to remember than the Dominican Republic. For reference, the main kingdoms include Rosaria, or the Fire Kingdom, Sanbreque, the Light Kingdom, Waloed is our Kingdom of Darkness. As mentioned before, the Dominican Republic is Earth. Because this isn't confusing at all, what the game calls the Iron Kingdom will now be known as the Ice Kingdom. And finally, the Crystalline Domain, which doesn't have an icon, but it's fine because they're neutral. Basically, this game's Switzerland. Finally, no going into this game that has a lot of moving pieces simultaneously and we'll be jumping around a bunch. I'll try to organize as best I can, but try to keep up. That said, the game starts in 873 and the Ice Kingdom's warring with the Earth Kingdom. You're Clive, or the super brooding cool guy that always talks like this. He's an enslaved soldier for the Light Kingdom on a specialized team of bears that take on the most dangerous missions. They are currently on a mission to kill the Ice Icon. They plan to sneak in while the Ice and Earth Kingdoms are gutting each other, but the plan gets complicated when Attack on Titan starts fighting Better Elsa. Ice shards are flying all over the place, soldiers are getting turned into toe jam. This game just started and shit is wild. Despite the insane size difference, Elsa over here like, come at me bitch. What you call me?
Falcon Punch!
The whole area starts to crumble, Clive and crew are running for their lives, the homie gets deleted by that boulder, and Clive gets knocked out. Flashback 13 years earlier, because Final Fantasy loves to over-explain character backstories, Clive's the son of the Archduke of the Fire Kingdom. His brother Joshua is the heir to the throne and the dominant of the Phoenix. Clive is training to be his brother's sworn protector. This position blessed Clive with some power, but nothing compared to turning into Moltres. Clive is also really close to his friend Jill, and because Game of Thrones has a wolf named Torgal. Unfortunately, Clive's mother Annabella is a total bitch. She is obsessively protective of Joshua because he's the heir and considers Clive worthless because he wasn't chosen by the Phoenix. However, Pops is cool, treats everyone including Bear as well, but is uneasy because war is coming. Pops tells Clive the Blight is growing. They're going to war to secure more land, but per tradition need to go to Phoenix Gate to confer with the ancestors. First night at Phoenix Gate and oh shit, assassins? Why is the Light Kingdom raiding Phoenix Gate? I thought they were cool. Clive fights off the knights, learns they have a traitor amongst them, and rushes back to his father and brother, but not before seeing weird visions of medieval Obi-Wan. Huh? As Pops is trying to help Joshua escape, fuck. Archduke gets skewered by his own soldiers right in front of his son. Covered in his father's blood, Joshua starts losing his shit and whoosh, barbecues everyone, sprouts wings, and loses control of his Phoenix icon. Clive rushes to help his brother, catches an ill-timed migraine, sees the Human Torch, and whoosh, as if hell opened and let out Demon Godzilla itself. Wait, there's only supposed to be one fire icon. No time to think because Fire Doggo is already after Phoenix and we're treated to the first of many unbelievable epic fight sequences this game does so well. As you play the game Panzer Dragoon should have been, epic fight music is booming, Flame Tweety is blasting, Fire Doggo is dropping flame spirit bombs, Pet Store Fight Club is insane. As the fight rages on, all Clive can do is scream in agony as he watches his brother get beat down. Boom! The next morning, Phoenix Gate is completely destroyed as Light Knights search the area. No way. Clive's bitch mother betrayed her own kingdom and had her family killed just so she could strike a deal with the Light Kingdom? Already hate her as much as Cersei. Despite the insane icon fight that decimated the area, Clive is alive. To add insult to injury, his own mother has him enslaved, which is how he ends up with his current unit. Flashback to present, Clive wakes up and what's left of his unit continues to pursue the Ice Dominant until they find her, prisoner to her own kingdom. Weak from her fight with Titan, they force her to fight by threatening the lives of small children, and when Clive and crew are done beating the hell out of everyone, oh shit, is that Jill? Clive hesitates to kill his oldest friend, his teammate tries to do it himself, and dude catches a whole axe. Dead. Clive walks away like, I'm just gonna put this over here. Ice Captain thinks he's bad because he's got the knockoff Skyrim helmet. Yeah, no. Clive's sergeant wants Jill dead and warns betraying the Light Empire means death. His brooding ass whispers, fuck the Empire, catch this sword, and he does. The rest of the Skyrim's NPCs pull up, there's nowhere to go, and BAM! Lightning starts dropping out of nowhere and rocks all their shits. Medieval Clooney rolls up, tells Clive to follow him, and they disappear into the dust. Also, this chick with the giraffe neck and Zidane haircut is Benedicta. She's the dominant of Wind and the commander of the Dark Kingdom Special Forces. She's also fucking that Titan guy, must like them rock hard, literally. Back to Clive, Raiden Clooney here is Cid and is also the dominant of Lightning. He says his dog guided him to Clive. Random, until we learn that dog is Torgal, all grown up. Of course they don't explain how the hell it's even possible 13 years later, just go with it. Jill needs medical attention, so Cid takes her and Clive to his hideout. There Cid explains he's trying to liberate Dominants and Bears from their persecution, and asks Clive to join him. I can't help you. I only live to avenge my brother. I have to kill the Obi-Wan fire guy. Cid mentions one of his scouts saw a mysterious fire dominant and offers to take Clive to him. After frying a giant lizard, we learn Cid wants to help the magically inclined because it's bullshit they're used like tools and discarded. He wants to create a place where it doesn't matter what you are, but who you are. Imagine Martin Luther King, but with lightning powers. They eventually find the scout, Gav, who says Benedict is also searching for the fire dominant. Clive chases the guard to her camp, she goes My Valentine and summons a harpy lady, and Clive drops it without even playing his time wizard. Benedicta's men then capture the dominant and she leaves with that Karen-ass haircut. Later, Benedicta's having flashbacks and we learn she's fucking the king of the Dark Kingdom, who's also the Dark Dominant. Dude's name is Barnabas and is trying to unite all the dominants in order to usher in some kind of new world order, more on that later. Cid used to serve Barnabas until he had a change of heart and betrayed them. Benedict is extra tight about this because she used to be with him too.
She belongs to the streets.
Clive and Cid fight through Benedicta's stronghold until they find her waiting for them. He calls her out on who she used to be before Barnabas, making her mad enough to semi-prime into a Harpy Lady. Summon two more, and now the Harpy Lady's sisters are beating up Purple Raiden. Clive bodies the summons and barely blessed by the Phoenix goes after the dominant of Wind. He's holding his own, she goes second form, things are not good. Let's go Torgal. No, Torgal!
Can't believe you did that to our dog, eh?
Now we're pissed, until she calls in Master Hand's bird. Ah shit, yeah Torgal, hit my dog again bitch. Benedicta beaten, Clive wants answers, but when he gets near her,
Your soul is mine.
Clive's writhing in pain, a random ethereal voice says, there you are, and the entire stronghold starts going up in flames as the captured dominant they are chasing decides he's ready to leave. Benedicta uses this opportunity to attack Clive, but hold up, did Clive steal her power? Can't think now, the whole stronghold's coming down, time to go. As dawn breaks, Gab goes after the fire dominant and Benedict's having a full mental breakdown. She loses control of her icon and morphs into Mega Harpy Lady. Clive and Cid know something's up because they can feel her icon, but also because a giant fucking tornado randomly spawned right in front of them. Mythos. Mythos. The ethereal voice calls Clive as he rushes in to stop Benedicta's icon. He's convinced the fire dominant is there as well. Is it really him? Clive chases after the dominant until, damn! Mega Harpy takes out the whole cliff edge and now Clive's fighting the icon of Wind. Screw you, catch this sword, but all that metal toothpick does is piss it off. As they fight, Clive's resolve to avenge his brother reaches an apex when, awaken, Ifrit! No fucking way. Clive is Fire Doggo? And this is the part where shit gets real. She's throwing boulders, he's dropping power bombs, there's curb stomps and ripped limbs, she's trying to fly away, he's like, get over here! And straight rotisserie chickens that ass. Dead! Now Ifrit's out of control, which makes Cid summon Lightning Gandalf, hit him with the You shall not pass! And knock Clive out long enough to get him back to the hideout. Not sure where his clothes went because they stay on for all the other transformations. Sus. Clive's now losing his shit as he realizes he killed his own brother. 13 years he spent hunting his brother's killer when it was him all along. He's bitching like, ah, kill me. Cid says Gav found the dominant they've been chasing and has no doubt it's one of fire. But wait, if Clive's been chasing ghosts this whole time, who's the other fire dominant? Speaking of, the scene changes and we see the hooded person Gav's been following. He's real and it's Joshua? Back at the hideout, Jill's better and the two friends are reunited and ready to continue the slowest awkward romance I have ever seen. We know you like each other, just make your move. They catch up and we learn the Ice Kingdom was invaded after the Phoenix Gate incident. Jill and many others were captured, she was chosen by the Ice Icon soon after, and as the Ice Dominant was forced to fight for the kingdom so her people wouldn't be slaughtered. Clive tells Jill about Phoenix Gate, the voices, and Ifrit, and she's convinced they need to go back. Whatever happens, we'll face it together. On their way to Phoenix Gate, they learn the blight is getting worse and persecution of bears continues to worsen as they are seen as nothing more than tools to be used up and discarded. And when a bear is forced to use their gift beyond their means, they fall prey to what's called the curse, a painful affliction that petrifies them through death, an affliction that can even affect dominance. Eventually they get to Phoenix Gate and see the hooded dominant walk into the ruins. Clive goes into the ruins after him, beats down a bunch of upgraded Skyrim robots, admires some incomplete art, gets a headache, and has to literally fight his demons until he's truly able to accept he is Ifrit. Finally accepting that he is Ifrit and killed his brother, which he didn't actually do as we already know, Clive resolves to learn the whole truth. Who's the hooded man? Why is there a second fire dominant? Why was Clive chosen? We'll find the answers together. Meanwhile, the Earth Dominant, aka Buzzcut Brian Fury, aka Hugo Kupka, is pissed when he gets Benedicta's head in a box.
What's in the box?
And becomes obsessed with revenge. Clive witnesses the atrocities the Light Kingdom committed against bears, atrocities committed by his own mother. Remember, her two-faced ass portrayed the Fire Homies, started messing around with the Light Emperor, and is now the Holy Empress. This, along with his quest for truth, spurs Clive to change his mind and join Cid's cause. He heads back to tell him, with one of Kupka's spies close behind. At the Light Kingdom, more of their land is falling to the Blight, and their flower-obsessed emperor decides to get more land by invading the neutral Crystal Dominion, or Final Fantasy Switzerland. Back at the hideout, Cid says the mother crystals are causing the blight. As people use the crystal's ether, they drain the land of it, leaving it lifeless, dead lands. If they want to create a place where people can live on their own terms, they need to stop the blight from consuming everything first. In order to do that, the mother crystals have to go. Their first target is the Light Kingdom's crystal. And lucky for them, it'll be easier to get to as the Light Kingdom starts occupation of the Crystal Dominion. Eventually they get to Crystal Disney, and in the central chamber, Clive bodies a dragon overdose on ether, and Cid uses Lightning Gandalf to destroy the crystal's heart. And because Final Fantasy never feels the need to make sense, a black hole opens. Cid gets messed up, Swole Chris Angel crawls out like that chick from The Ring, Clive gets another headache, and is once again in another dimension. Ifrit beats the hell out of Floaty Chris Angel. Of course there's another boss phase. Doesn't matter, Flame Spirit Bomb, dead! Back to reality, Clive checks on Cid until he notices demonic Malfoy standing uncomfortably close. The voice Clive's been hearing are from that thing, and it tries to merge with him until Cid shanks it in the throat. Still messed up, Cid knows it's over for him. He gives Clive the classic mentor speech, then along with his power, passes his legacy and dream to Clive before he passes away. Demon voice comes back and a massive flame engulfs them, but Joshua's here? He dispels the flame, calls out Mullet Quan Chi, whose real name is Ultima by the way, and confirms Ultima's trying to claim Clive as his vessel. In order to protect his brother, Joshua hits Ultima with the "Get in my belly!" as he uses the spell to imprison Ultima within him. The ruins come crashing down and a mother crystal dissolves into dust, sending the Light Kingdom into a panic. Speaking of panic, everyone at the hideaway is running for their lives because Kupka found out where they are, and he's still tight about the whole head in a box thing. Fast forward 5 years later, Clive has adopted Cid's name, regrouped with the survivors from Kupka's attack, built a new hideout, and continues to fight to free bears. Over this time, the Blight continues to claim more land, the Light Kingdom managed to invade Crystal Switzerland, which pissed off the other nations, and now Light is trying to expand their reach even further. With the Fire Kingdom long gone, the main kingdoms that remain are Light, Earth, Dark, and Ice. Gav reports the Earth is declaring war on Light, and with all eyes on them, it is time to move on the remaining 4 Mother Crystals. They decide to move on the Ice Kingdom first, testing Jill's resolve as this was the nation that imprisoned her and forced her to fight. But don't worry, they'll face it together. Clive's dear-old mother has also been busy. Her psychotic ass is now ordering garrisons to cull bears. Slavery has quickly turned into slaughter. What is wrong with this lady? Clive learns mom gave the Light Emperor an heir and is increasingly obsessed with bears. To what end is unknown, but many think she doesn't want anyone with the power to challenge her son. Eventually they get to the Ice Kingdom stronghold, fight through lava monsters, an army of crazy cultists, and gets to the heart of the Mother Crystal. Jill crashes the ritual, turns the people that enslaved her into popsicles, Clive beats up giant lava demon, and destroys the Mother Crystal himself. Cult leader loses his mind because the crystal's gone, then loses his life when Jill stabs his ass, and Jill can finally move on from her past. Back at the hideout, Clive is checking in on Jill, and after 20 years, my man finally decides to make his move. But then Gav cockblocks him. Dude! Gav says Kupka is attacking Clive's old home. He's trying to draw Clive out since learning he is the new Cid. They head back to the old Fire Kingdom, beat down Kupka's army, fight a medieval Raikou, and Jill and Clive get captured. Luckily, Gav frees the homie, and right before Jill is executed, Torgal pulls up, transforms into Liger Zero, shout out to everyone who got that reference, and it's a full-on brawl in the courtyard. Clive goes after Kupka, who does his Rick James impression when he says, "Fuck your chair." Kupka learns Clive was actually the one who killed Benedicta, and as you'd guess, they're throwing hands over that shit. But Kupka throws one too many as shing! Clive cuts them clean off. What am I gonna do about my hands, Charlie Murphy? To add insult to injury, Clive absorbs the earth power from Stubbs McGee, and now dude is throwing a tantrum looking like the Powerpuff Girl artist designed his new look. Then this dude from the Dark Kingdom pulls up, gut punches Kupka, and carries his big ass away like nothing. Another time, Mythos. Wait, he knows about Mythos? At the hideout, Sid's daughter Mid is back from university, and Square Enix again is forcing players to do what should be side content so they can claim the game is longer than 20 hours. This time you're helping her build a workshop. We also learn the lore behind Torgal's transformation, but quickly get distracted by one of the most suspicious lines I've ever heard in a game.
Why, the beast has the appetite of a behemoth. Just this very morn, I found him with his nose buried in my nuts.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
At Crystal, Switzerland, the new light capital, Annabella's affection toward her son and Empire heir is awkward to say the least. And the Emperor is losing his mind because he wants his son and Light Dominant to decimate the Earth army despite their recent request for peace. Clive's people learn where Seamus Kupka is hiding and heads off to amputate more of him. Meanwhile, Kupka's pissed because holding forks with fake hands is hard, and as this Dark Kingdom guy twists Kupka to his will, shit, he's working with Ultima? Clive gets to Kupka's stronghold as he's seeing twisted visions of Benedicta. This fuels his rage for Clive as his icon takes over the same way Benedicta's did. Clive summons Ifrit, and another insane boss battle ensues. Titan gets his hands back, rocks are flying all over the place, Ifrit's whooping that ass, Titan eats the magical rock candy, second boss phase, it's not a Japanese game without some tentacles, spear that ass with his own tentacle, boom! Oh, you thought that was it. Now we're fighting phase 1 Titan, free falling through a crumbling phase 2 Titan. Shit is crazy. Ifrit starts getting tossed around until he absorbs some ether himself, creates stone hands, and now this just turned into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Bop, 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 bop. Ifrit catches Titan with the bonk to end all bonks, and boom, sends dude flying. Clive finishes off the crystal, Kupka petrifies after his ether OD, and shit, more headaches? Ultima returns to try to claim his vessel but can't due to Clive's will and consciousness. I know it makes no sense, it's Final Fantasy, just go with it. Meanwhile, Dion gets a message that, what? Annabella's brat is now the Emperor. The fuck? Dion's ready to confront his father when Joshua walks in and tells him what is really going on. Back at the hideout, Square Enix has us do more ridiculous filler. This time Min needs help building engines for a ship, and she dips as soon as we do all the work. The gang visits Sid's grave and renews their resolve to finish the mission. The next target is the Mother Crystal and the now light-occupied crystalline domain. Dion confronts his father about giving up the throne, who attempts to justify his bullshit. After he leaves, Annabella starts talking shit to Dion, goes full Cersei as she speaks about pure breeds, sus, and admits twisting Dion's father to her will. Her psycho ass has a hardcore superiority complex tied to royal bloodlines, and Dion knows this chick has to go. Clive is at the capital and shit is already going down as Dion's personal army is staging a full-on coup. They fight through the streets, notice the crystal's heart starts acting up, and Dion's icon Bahamut is losing its mind, annihilating the kingdom Dion swore to protect. Joshua sees this and rushes off. Mother Crystal transforms itself and releases heavy amounts of ether, forcing Clive to fight through an overdosed army of Ultima minions. After defeating Virgil's devil trigger, Clive finds Annabella. As we know, she's corrupt as fuck. Showing her true colors, she says country don't mean shit. All that matters is protecting sovereignty and noble bloodlines. She did her duty by bearing a son of the noblest blood. That's why she sold out the Fire Kingdom, so she could bang the Light Emperor and have a son with claim to the highest throne.
She belongs to the streets.
But what about the other kids? Clive didn't awaken to the Phoenix, so he wasn't good enough. Joshua, who is the Phoenix, had poor health and wasn't strong enough. Stepson Dion wasn't good enough either because he's the son of a concubine and what she calls impure. Long story short, this chick has hardcore shame triggers, fucked up priorities, and a sense of entitlement that would put Elon Musk to shame. Boom! Then Joshua comes crashing through the building. Fake Blue Eyes messed him up and starts priming his white lightning attack! But Clive swore to protect his brother and boom! Deflects it with a hellfire wall. Ifrit is here, y'all, and the most epic boss fight I've ever experienced in any video game ever is about to start.
Hold on to your butts.
Bahamut's sending flares all over the place, Ifrit's dropping nukes, meanwhile the crystal's opening for some reason. Both icons are beating the hell out of each other until Bahamut gets our man. But not yet. Phoenix flies in and now it's a 2v1. Bahamut hits Ifrit with a super Kamehameha. He's out, 1v1. We're playing better Panzer Dragoon again until Bahamut rides Phoenix into the ground. He's messed up, white lightning, oh shit, Ifrit's back, Flame Rasengan, boom! But Bahamut's not done. Screen clear ultimate, get blocked, tag team finisher, get bodied. Shit is insane. Hold up, it's not over. What's that crystal doing? Bahamut absorbs more ether. You fools, this isn't even my final form! Goes golden. Shit. The homies get rocked. Hold up, it's still not over. Fusion. Ha! Ah! Holy shit. Phoenix and Ifrit just merged, and now they're chasing Bahamut into space. Fucking space. Mega Dragoon is shooting hella lasers, flying fire doggos plowing right through him. Now he's throwing out sentries, instant transmission. They continue to beat the hell out of each other until Bahamut's over it and fires a shot that would burn the world. Not today. As Ifrit tanks the entire blast and shoots straight through Bahamut. Bodied! The crystal's exposed as Dion falls back to Earth. Phoenix saves Dion and Ifrit destroys the crystal. The two brothers are reunited, Jill and Torgal are hype, and by some miracle, Dion's still alive. Dion's seeing visions of Ultima where the young Emperor stands and oh shit, sends a spear straight through him. Annabelle's losing her mind. Joshua and Clive help Dion, but Clive siphons his power instead, and we get a flashback to earlier that night. Dion attempted to save his father from Annabelle's influence. As he pleads with his father, the young Emperor finally speaks, egging Dion on until he lets loose his spear and his father steps in the way? Everyone's freaking out except the Emperor, who's suspiciously calm for a kid being covered in blood. He says he planned the whole thing and that Mythos approaches. Young Emperor is under Ultima's control and the reason why Bahamut went wild. Before they leave, Joshua offers his mother to come despite all the bullshit she's done. Continuing to fly off the rails, she pulls a knife, calls Joshua a shadow and says he won't take her, and then proceeds to take her own life. Was she under Ultima's influence too? But who really cares? I'm just glad she's gone at this point. They escape as the crystal crumbles, still talking cryptically about wills and consciousness. Ultima casts a spell called Primogenesis. With 4 of the 5 crystals gone, the world is falling into chaos. Common folk can no longer use the crystals they rely on so heavily. Primogenesis created ether floods across the land, spawning more of Ultima's minions. Still imprisoning a piece of Ultima inside him, Joshua's health continues to deteriorate as Clive receives word Canver, the city Mid and Gava currently in, is under siege by Ultima's monsters and Barnabas's army. They too know Mid is there and they're using it to draw Clive out. On the way, they deduce the art they saw at Phoenix Gate is the key to understanding Ultima's purpose. He is likely a god and planning something with the icons who are his subjects. Some, like Barnabas, have accepted their role, while others, like Clive, are telling God to shove it. Inconvenient for Ultima, considering Clive is the most important piece of his plan. They arrive in Canver, meet up with the crew, and then start looking for survivors. As Clive searches, he gets approached by Barnabas's commander, the guy that was messing with Kupka's head. Clive messes him up, and the homies arrive, but as they're leaving, shing! Barnabas takes out the whole building with one slice. Damn. Clive tries him, but it doesn't end well after Barnabas summons Odin's sword. Joshua gets Clive out of there while Jill stays to keep Barnabas busy. Later, Clive wakes up, finds out Jill's not with them, and makes the crew go after Barnabas on Mid's fancy new boat. They catch up to Barnabas' ship. Clive goes after Jill while Joshua takes on Barnabas, but dude's icon Odin is so powerful, he cuts the ocean in half. This sends Barnabas' ship, including Clive and Jill, to the bottom of the ocean. When Barnabas phases in, he spouts some cult BS, and now they are fighting at the bottom of the ocean. Somehow the water isn't falling either. Odin must be Moses. Barnabas reminds Clive what happened last time they fought and continues his cultist devotion. Dominants are meant to carry out Ultima's will. Their power is his, and Clive's purpose is to absorb their power to fulfill Ultima's plan, whatever that is. The water starts coming down, Barnabas fades out like that meme, and Square Enix expects us to believe that Clive and Jill ran out of the middle of the ocean with nothing protecting them but Jill's ice. Do you have any idea how much that amount of water weighs? No way in hell that ice is holding. But to be fair, we gave up on realism a long time ago. By some miracle, they survive but are marooned and naked. Because he got his ass kicked by Barnabas twice, Clive's throwing a pity party. Jill talks him out of it and offers him her power. He Shang Tsung's her, leans heavily into the brooding romantic guy shtick. We'll save each other together. And after becoming one, spend the rest of the night becoming one, if you know what I'm saying. The next morning, Midship finds him somehow. Torgal's tired because he was kept up all night, and they go back to the hideout to plan how they're going to take down the Dark Kingdom's crystal. As they explore the kingdom, Joshua splits off to follow a lead, and Clive does what he does best: beat the hell out of everything. Once that's done, oh fuck, Odin's here? He creates a massive demonic barrier and calls Clive out like, "Come get me, bitch." Clive heads for another ruin, dismantles another legion of Skyrim robots, and has another dominant waiting for him at the top of the tower. Still a slave to his devotion, Barnabas uses an annoying religious metaphor to talk shit about humanity, and believes humans should give up their will to reap salvation. Clive politely disagrees, so they proceed to beat the hell out of each other once again. And when that doesn't work, their icons start beating the hell out of each other until shing! In the last-ditch effort to serve his god, Barnabas grabs Clive and forces him to take Odin's power. As Barnabas fades to dust, Ultima's disembodied voice says he'll be waiting at the final crystal. The barrier comes down and Clive reunites with Joshua, who learn Ultima is after Clive and Joshua. The vessel is not complete until Ifrit and Phoenix are merged. Joshua also believes Ultima means to cast a spell so powerful it needs a vessel strong enough to handle mass amounts of ether. Clive's vessel. The final Mother Crystal awaits, and the two brothers fight their way through a literal army of Ultima's minions, including giant meteor summoning demon doggos, but it's all good because they fight together. Or maybe not, because there's no end to the horde, and the two brothers are backed into a corner until boom! Mid rams through the castle wall with her boat, and the homies, including Dion, help fight off the rest of the monsters. They open the final gate and find Ultima waiting for them. Slending Man Bakura sends Clive and Joshua to the Shadow Realm while the others stay to hold the line. Ultima brought them to the Shadow Realm to very cryptically explain what the hell is going on, and of course the backstory is the most Final Fantasy shit ever. When the world was young, Ultima, who's actually multiple Ultimas, gave it magic and it flourished until the Blight came, destroying everything. They fled to untainted Valisthea, however the Blight continued to creep in as they used more magic. Ultima then decides he will create a new world. To do this, Ultima needs a vast amount of power and a vessel that could wield it. First, some of the Ultimas turned themselves into mother crystals in order to harvest the ether. Then he created humanity so that one day Mythos, or Clive, would be born, will absorb all the magic juice and allow Ultima to cast his world-making spell. This process would take a long time, so Ultima went into hibernation. While in hibernation, humanity developed consciousness and will, wanted magic for themselves, fought wars, and as a result, some of the original 8 mother crystals were destroyed prematurely. Humanity's will is a problem for Ultima because they are rebelling and don't want to go along with his plan of being tools and then eradicated when the new world is created. After deciphering this annoyingly cryptic history, Clive uses his will to tell God to fuck off. Ultima doesn't appreciate disobedience, hits his devil trigger, while the brothers decide, well, it's our world now, so I guess we're gonna kill a god. Ultima wasn't ready, caught that sword, and the final crystal is destroyed. And after leaving, his ethereal voice tells Clive to catch him outside. With all the crystals destroyed, Ultima deletes the Kingdom of Light and makes it do the Sokovia thing from Avengers. The gathered aether morphs into a giant crystal, and somehow the brothers return from the Shadow Realm. They all regroup at the hideout so Clive and Joshua can tell everyone the world is fucked unless they stop it. Dion offers to help since the crystal is in the sky and they might need a draconic Uber. Knowing this is likely a one-way trip, Clive says bye to all the homies, pets the best boy, and reassures his lady with a touching, "I love you, Jill," who then hits him with the Han Solo, "I know." Aww. Feels bad though, dude finally got his and now he's going on a suicide mission to fight God. Clive and Joshua literally play plans of Grudrun as they fly Bahamut to the crystal, knock on the door by blowing it up, and head for the halls of origin where Ultima is waiting. He's still talking, and the homies are tired of his Aristotle Crypt Keeper nonsense and start blasting. Ultima turns into the blue Ifrit Phoenix combo, and it's on. Spoiler, dominants get rocked and Ultima starts yeeting one-handed spirit bombs. Bahamut tries to stop it, Ultima shoots a Kamehameha behind it and annihilates Bahamut despite him using the world-ending gold beam thing. Goku needs to start taking notes. Dion dies and Joshua and Clive crash into the halls of origin completely messed up. They stumble into the core where, of course, Ultima reappears. Since absorbing one of them earlier in the game, Joshua has grown weaker and continues to cough blood as Ultima refuses to shut up about his plan. Ultima uses the stored ether to summon his clone jutsu, and Clive finally figures out what he's been doing this whole time.
What?
He's been playing into Ultima's hand this entire game. By destroying the crystals, Clive has freed the other Ultimas who would have stayed trapped otherwise. The Ultima trapped in Joshua rips himself out, and main Ultima merges with all of his homies. Joshua uses his final moments to share his revelation with Clive. Humanity stopped worshipping Ultima a long time ago because their god denied their will, and what would have made him truly powerful, their faith. Brother, our friends have faith in you, our dream, and your ability to kick God's ass. The faith reinforces our bonds and makes you strong, along with this phoenix power I'm about to give you. In a heartfelt moment that drags on a little too long, Clive's freaking out again as his brother sacrifices what little strength he has left to pass on his power. Joshua, no! Ultima morphs into knockoff Diablo Angel and now only needs to claim his vessel. He sends Clive back to the Shadow Realm, who's still mourning his brother, but sadness quickly turns into "don't fuck with me," knowing full well he's going to will that sword up Ultima's ass. And here it is. The music starts bumping, Clive gets the intense hero look, drops the fight pose, and we all know.
It has begun!
The final battle. Clive's dodging everything like he has Ultra Instinct, slicing Ultima with the Judgment Cut Final Fantasy ripped off DMC, and showing God why he don't want that smoke. In pure desperation, Ultima summons his icon and breaks the Shadow Realm. Clive then proceeds to beat the shit out of this form too. Ultima turns back. Why is this happening? It's not possible. Clive's not done, like, you can't fight. You're just a coward getting his ass whooped by his own creation. You know nothing! As Ultima rips himself open to summon and absorb more Ultimas. The inevitable third boss phase happens. Don't act surprised, this game was made in Japan. And what is his ultimate form? He gets a helmet and some gold trim. Ultima thinks he's slick by summoning the powers of the icons, but Clive already has all those. And will. Gale's unrelenting. Harpy Lady! Easy claps. Levin untamed. Gandalf! Zaps that ass. Earth unyielding. Titan! Rocks his shit JoJo style. Light undying. Panzer Dragoon! Got him. Ice unfeeling. Elsa! Put him on ice. Darkness unending. Odin. Shing! We're not done yet. God hits his ultimate devil trigger and gets even crazier. Shit's flying everywhere, fucking laser beams and elemental attacks. God's throwing spirit bombs again. My frames start dropping. It is wild. Flames unforgiving. With me, Phoenix. And Ultima gets his ass cooked. Literally. Refusing to end the fight, Ultima unleashes a last-ditch ki blast as Clive launches his flame sword straight through it and straight through Ultima. After all that, how does Clive finish off a god? Punch him in his stupid god face. He caught that sword, now catch these hands. Defeated, Ultima continues to talk about the inevitable while Clive does the hero revelation speech. Clive hits Ultima with the
Your soul is mine.
and absorbs God as he fades to ash. Back to Origin's core, Clive embraces his brother once again and uses all the power he has absorbed to destroy the crystal, eradicating all magic from the world. Dude ends up on a beach, void of magic, as his hands begin to petrify. Jill and Torgal begin to mourn their fallen lover slash friend until dawn breaks, where she stops crying and peers out into the sunrise. A thorough search of the internets will tell you that no one can agree if Clive lives or dies. I'll let you make that call on your own. However, I like to think he lives, since the post-credit scene shows a family many years later. Magic is gone, the kids kinda look like Clive and Joshua, maybe descendants of some kind, and there are other clues if you paid attention to side quests like the book that is supposedly written by Joshua. And that's Final Fantasy XVI, so what did we learn today? If you have the will, the powers of the last airbender, and can turn into Godzilla, you too can kill gods. Go live your dreams. If you enjoy these videos, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, or don't. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. Don't forget to let me know in the comments what other games that you all want to see. We've already done a ton of other explained videos, so make sure you check those out as well. I'm La Muerte Blanca, and I'll catch you guys next time.